Hi there, it's Cheryl Truesdale, and I am thrilled that you're here with me for this episode of Cheryl Shares TV, your station for inspiration. So I gotta ask, are you a people pleaser? I mean, do you find yourself going out of your way to do whatever you can to make sure that other people think well of you and like you? And if so, do you ever feel bad about yourself when your people-pleasing efforts don't pan out? Meaning, you do whatever you can to win someone's approval, and it doesn't work. They seem impossible to please. You see, I know from personal experience what it's like to need the approval of others to feel good about myself. Man, that was a miserable and really hopeless place to be. My need for their approval made me a slave to their opinions, which meant if they didn't think well of me, then I couldn't think well of me. Yucky. Well, thank goodness that my people-pleasing days are mostly behind me now. And since I've been able to get free from this bad habit, I know that you can too, which is why I'm going to show you exactly what worked for me. So stay tuned and find out how to free yourself from approval addiction. Now, before I share how I overcame my people-pleasing ways, I thought it would be really helpful for you if I showed you some of the insights that I gained that helped me to break free from my approval addiction. Basically, I just realized the truth. You see, it became clear to me that the root cause for people-pleasing was my need to gain their approval to feel good about myself. And it was this awareness that exposed my true motive for wanting to please other people. Now, of course, I told myself that I was people-pleasing because, well, I wanted to help them. In reality, though, I was doing whatever I was doing to please them or make them happy so that they would like me and want me in return. My true motive for pleasing others had nothing to do with benefiting them. It was all about selfish gain. Yeah, it was a hard pill to swallow. I felt like a schmuck. But then something wonderful happened. Because I was willing to admit and look at the fact about my selfishness and my motives, what happened was that opened the door to the possibility of forgiving myself for those selfish behaviors. And in doing so, I freed myself from any shame. And you know what? Had I not faced the truth, I would still be living in denial about my true motives, which means I would still be trapped in my dependency on the approval of others to feel good about myself. You and I are created in such a way that it is only natural that we want to connect with others and be in relationship with others. And as a matter of fact, every human being needs to feel accepted and loved and respected so that they can experience psychological health. So needing healthy human relationships and connection is a normal desire, but being desperate for approval, that is a whole thing altogether. And it can be easy to confuse unhealthy needs with healthy needs if we're not careful. So what is it that causes us to cross over into the unhealthy camp? Well, really, it comes down to an issue with our self-esteem. When our esteem of ourselves is low, we can be tempted to depend upon the esteem of others to validate our worth. When we don't value ourselves, that's what can cause us to be desperate to get validation for others to prove to us that we matter. When we don't have a realistic, appreciative opinion of ourselves, we can tend to become socially needy. And the drive is so strong that we look for acceptance in unhealthy ways, like people-pleasing behaviors that lead to approval addiction. Now, I just gave you a hint for how to be free from approval addiction. Have you figured out the solution yet? Well, let me give you the lowdown right now. So, the hint I was referring to is self-esteem, how you feel about you. Now, keeping that in mind, let me share the solution for how to free yourself from approval addiction. Ready? Here it is. If you want to be free from an addiction to the approval of others, then approve of yourself. That's it. When you approve of yourself, you free yourself from the nagging addiction from the approval of other people. If having a wrong self-esteem creates the constant need for positive feedback from others in order to maintain your feelings of self-worth, then it only makes sense that improving your relationship with you eliminates those unhealthy needs altogether. And the key to turning wrong self-esteem into strong self-esteem is to get really clear on the truth about your immense value and worth. Make sense? So there you have it, a powerful solution for how to free yourself from approval addiction. Now, before we wrap up today, there is something really important I feel I must address. I get it. Trust me, I know how hard it can be to recognize our own immense value and worth, which is why I'm going to leave you with a really powerful reality check. You ready? You, my friend, are born with infinite value, and this means your value can never be decided. It also means your value never fluctuates, even though your feelings about yourself may fluctuate. The only thing that ever changes about your value is the way you experience your value, but never the value itself. In other words, your experience of your value may change and fluctuate depending upon your feelings, but never the value itself. Isn't that a powerful reminder? Well, I would love to hear what you think about what I shared today. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And you can do that by leaving a comment under the video over at CherylTruesdale.com. So, do you feel inspired now? If so, would you like to inspire someone? Someone you know who could use a little love, hope, and inspiration to brighten their day? Got someone in mind? Then all you need to do to make a difference in their life right now is simply share this video with them. I am truly honored that you joined me for this episode of Cheryl Shares TV. Now, to make sure that you get your dose of inspiration every week, just head on over to CherylTruesdale.com and sign up for email updates. That way you'll never miss an episode. And remember, you are amazing. You do matter. And you most certainly do deserve to live a happy life that you love. I'll see you soon, my friend. Bye.